So there's this girl named Mackenzie, and one night she's driving with her boyfriend Dominic. Out of nowhere, she decides she wants to kill him. How? By slamming the car straight into a brick wall. Crazy, right? Let me tell you a bit about Mackenzie. She's 17, lives in Ohio, and based on her social media, she's trying really hard to be an influencer. Honestly, she'd probably do well at it. People say she's entitled, a bit of a mean girl, and even a bully. Basically, she'd fit right into the influencer world. But here's the kicker. Despite all that, Dominic really likes her. He's her boyfriend after all. Dominic and Mackenzie go way back. They first met in school and have been in an on-again, off-again relationship for a few years now. Why the back and forth? From what people say, Mackenzie hasn't exactly been the easiest partner. Their fights are frequent, and when things get heated, she's known to lash out. We're talking name-calling, nasty insults, even threats to mess with his car.
I will keep your car if you do not let me in the house.
You're going to keep my car
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
Then came 2022 when things took a serious turn. One day, the two of them were in her car driving down the highway. They got into yet another argument. Nothing new for them, but this time it escalated in a way that no one saw coming. So they're in the middle of this heated fight. Voices raised, emotions running high, she's crying, screaming, hurling insults left and right, and then out of nowhere, bam, she starts swinging at him while driving. Dominic's panic kicks in immediately. He's terrified she's going to lose control and crash the car. Desperate, he calls his mom, maybe hoping she can come get him, assuming he can even convince Mackenzie to stop the car. But things just spiral further. Mackenzie, completely unhinged at this point, threatens to crash the car on purpose, says she'll take them both out. That kind of threat, that's beyond unstable. It's terrifying. Luckily, she doesn't crash the car, and somehow they patch things up, at least for a while. Still, her erratic behavior leaves a lasting impact. It's clear the relationship is starting to fray. Eventually, Dominic begins to seriously consider ending it for good. He's worn out, and deep down, he knows this thing has probably run its course. But then, fast forward 2 weeks, and guess what? They're still together. They end up going to a friend's party, and to everyone's surprise, the night goes pretty well. They're chillin', having fun. Dominic's a few drinks in, loosening up, while Mackenzie's staying off the booze, but decides to spark up a little Zaza to catch her own kind of buzz. After that, they swing by another friend's party, and somehow the good vibes keep rolling. It turns into another great time. By around 5:30 in the morning, though, everyone's wiped out and ready to call it a night. As they're heading out, one of Dominic's buddies, Davion, asks for a ride home. So now it's the three of them, Mackenzie, Dominic, and Davion, piled into the car, cruising through the early morning quiet. Mackenzie's probably still riding a little high, but to her credit, she's keeping things mellow behind the wheel, driving slow and steady. For a moment, it feels like things might actually stay calm. There's actually footage of them rounding a corner around this time, and from the looks of it, they're cruising at a normal pace. Nothing out of the ordinary. But what happens next? That's where things get murky. We don't have eyes inside the car, but knowing their history, it's not a stretch to assume that another argument breaks out between Mackenzie and Dominic. And this time, it spirals fast. Mackenzie snaps. She slams her foot on the gas pedal to the floor and the car rockets forward. She's so enraged, it's like she doesn't care what happens, not just to herself, but to everyone else in the car too. At this point, Dominic's gotta be panicking, probably yelling something like, "What are you doing? Slow down." Maybe even trying to physically intervene. Reportedly, he reaches for the gear shift and throws it into neutral, doing whatever he can to stop the madness. But Mackenzie's not backing down. She grabs it right back and slams it into drive again, dead set on keeping control. The car keeps accelerating, 70, 80, then 90 miles per hour, blazing down the road like a bullet. As they near the end of the street, Mackenzie still isn't letting up. No easing off the gas, no tapping the brakes, no attempt to turn or swerve. Just pure momentum, building with every second. She keeps pushing the car faster and faster until it's barreling toward 100 miles an hour. And then, out of nowhere, bang, the car slams head-on into the solid brick wall of a building. No warning, no hesitation, just devastating impact. There's security footage that captures Mackenzie's car just moments before the impact. It's surreal watching it, knowing what's about to happen. You can actually see how fast they're going right before everything comes to a violent stop. Then there's this shot of the wall after the crash, completely destroyed, bricks shattered everywhere, and the car totaled. The front end is mangled beyond recognition. There's another angle too, and it gives you a clearer view of just how severe the damage really was. It's chilling, honestly. The wreckage tells the whole story. So here's the situation. It's bad. Really bad. It's early morning in an industrial part of town, the kind of place that's dead silent at that hour. No traffic, no pedestrians, just empty streets and warehouses. That means when the crash happens, no one's there to see it. It takes a full 45 minutes before someone finally stumbles upon the wreck and calls the police. When officers arrive, the scene is devastating. The car is completely destroyed. Twisted metal and shattered glass everywhere. Tragically, Dominic and Davion didn't make it. They were killed on impact. No time to react, no chance to escape. But somehow, in the middle of all this destruction, there's one small, almost unbelievable detail. Mackenzie survives. Mackenzie is rushed to the hospital and spends weeks there, undergoing multiple surgeries. It's a long recovery, but somehow, she pulls through. Eventually, she's discharged and sent home, a survivor of a crash that claimed 2 lives. Meanwhile, the investigation is just beginning. The police are trying to piece together what really happened that night, but they're missing one crucial piece, Mackenzie's account. Naturally, they question her, but instead of offering clarity, she tells them she doesn't remember anything. Not the argument, not the speeding, not the crash, nothing. It's maddening. 2 people are dead. And the one person who could explain it all claims she has no memory of the event. It's not just frustrating, it feels like an insult to the truth. As the investigation moves forward, police start talking to Dominic's friends and people in his inner circle. And that's when some revealing details start to emerge. Several friends describe Mackenzie as intense. Not just emotional, but volatile. They say she had a habit of threatening Dominic during their arguments. There are even voice recordings where she talks about keying his car.
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
Then there's the story of a particularly nasty fight a few weeks before the crash. According to those close to Dominic, Mackenzie got so worked up that she threatened to drive them both into a wall on purpose. Hearing that, it becomes painfully clear that the tension between them wasn't just emotional. It had started to turn dangerous. Meanwhile, as the police continue digging into what really happened, Mackenzie seems to be moving on with her life almost too easily. Just a few weeks after being released from the hospital, she's seen at a concert living it up. Despite still needing a wheelchair during recovery, she doesn't seem to be holding back. She's also back on TikTok posting updates and videos like nothing ever happened. One of them even shows her dancing, smiling, completely at ease. And for people who knew Dominic and Davion, it's a tough sight to swallow. There's this growing sense that while the investigation is still dragging on, Mackenzie is out there acting like none of it ever happened. While the police were digging into this case, they got access to the event data recorder from Mackenzie's car. You might know it as the car's black box. It's basically a device that records key details about what happens before and during a crash. When they checked it out, they found something pretty unsettling. On the night of the crash, after Mackenzie hit the gas, she never once tried to slow down. She didn't even tap the brakes. And right before the crash, she suddenly yanked the steering wheel, which sent the car straight off the road and into a brick wall. Looking at all this, the police started thinking, was this crash really an accident? It seemed like Mackenzie might have done it on purpose, trying to harm everyone in the car, including herself. And just like that, it finally happened. They arrested her. And here's her mugshot. Mackenzie goes to trial where she's found guilty and ends up being sentenced to life in prison.